Bye Bye Blackbird. I'll play the whole song first and then I'll teach it to you. Ready? And. Let's start at the very end of the song this time. I played a note that we haven't normally been playing. That last note is a G. And this is the way you figure that out. We know that those lines, if you want to name a line, just say, every good boy does fine. The top note is an F. So we go from something that we know, which is F, you just go to the next note above it, and it's G. Now we go back to the beginning. I like to know the theory of a song before I play it. So let's talk about the chords. They use, some of the chords of the G primary chords. We'll use the G chord, and we'll use the D7 chord, and we'll use the C sharp. That's not really in the primary chords. So anyway, we'll go back to the primary chords. The first measure is the G chord. It's just broken up. The second measure is the G chord broken up. The third measure is the G block chord. And let's go down to the second line. That's the G chord again. Then the second measure is a C sharp. A half step is notes that are directly next door neighbors with no tone in between. So this is a C sharp. A sharp, remember, raises a note. Up is to the right. So C sharp is directly to the right of C. There's C sharp. And then the next note is D. The last measure of the second line is this broken up. What chord is that? That is the D7 chord. We learned that in Gateway to Gazillions in G. The third line is the D7 chord block, and then that's tied. And then it's still the D7 chord, just broken up. And it remains on the last line, the D7 chord broken a different way. And the reason I'm doing that is to show you how you can take a chord like that and play it in various ways. You can make up your own accompaniment eventually, really. You can break these chords up however you want to, this way, or this way, or this way, or play them in block chords. You can break them up however you want. So that last line, again, I broke it this way, F sharp, then D, then C, then D. Okay, and that happens twice. And then the next to the last measure, what chord is that? Here it is broken. That, of course, is the G chord, and you end on the G note. So now you know the theory of the song. That makes it much easier to learn the song, in my opinion. Okay, let's go to the melody. Here's C. Go up to this B. So it's right below this C. Put your third finger there. This is called the G hand position. So we play that B, 4 times. Here we go. Ready, and. Now we go down, of course, to the A. Okay, stop there. We don't put dynamics in yet. The louds and the softs will come a little bit later. Second line, that's still a G. Now what? This is an F sharp because of the key signature. In the key of G, all Fs are sharp. So you play your thumb on G, and then you cross your 2 over to the F sharp. Then we come back to the G hand position for the third line. This is 4 on, what is that note? You figure it out. Okay, that's long enough to give you. Okay, so it's F-A-C. There it is. All right, third line, ready, and. Okay, stop there. You'll notice that this melody stays very close. This whole line has intervals of a second. Look, from C to D, that's a second. And then the second measure is D to C, that's a second. The third measure is C to B, that's a second. And once again, B to A is also a second. So this is a really great review of the intervals of a second. All right, down on the last line, there's the A, and there you go. There's another interval of a second. So we're on B, and then we go down, and then down. This note is tied, and then we already discussed that this last note is an octave above this G. You go up to that G. Okay, then the next in the progression of how to learn a song, one way to learn a song, is now we're going to put the hands together. So we're in the G hand position, 5 on G in your left hand, thumb on G in your right hand, which allows your third finger to play the first note, which is, of course, B. Here we go. Ready? And a little slower. Now, you might want to stop there and practice that. Once you get that really well, then you go on to the third measure. Okay, let's stop there. Gather your thoughts so that we can move on to the second line. This is the G chord broken in your left hand and the G note in your right hand. Ready? And. Now, the 2 in your left hand is right there, ready to play C sharp, and it's 2 in your right hand. Both thumbs play together, then cross 2 over to F sharp. Now, hold on to this note while your left hand plays that broken D7 chord. All right, third line, your right hand moves up to 4 on C. Your left hand plays D7 chord. Ready, and. All right. Now your right hand plays another C. Your left hand plays F sharp. Ready? And. All right. Last line. Your right hand has another A. Your left hand is on F sharp. Remember, this is the broken up D7 chord. Ready? And. Now, look for patterns. The left hand repeated the exact same thing twice, and your right hand played an A and then a B. So let's repeat that last line one more time from the beginning, and this time we'll keep going. First measure, last line. Ready? And. Now, your left hand is playing a broken G chord while your right hand plays A. So G and A play together. Ready? And. Now, when you get here, your D and your G are playing together. Play those notes again. Hold your right hand, play G in your left hand, and then G in your right hand. So many people, so many famous people have recorded this because this is a standard, a very classic standard. Amy Winehouse, Miles Davis, this is one of his biggest hits. Paul McCartney even recorded it. Joe Cocker, Dean Martin. Look up some of those recordings. They're all on YouTube. And begin to get your own style of playing this. These are notes that I've put down for you to guide you. But if you want to begin to make it your own, you should actually. Then, you can play it more like, hey, if you can play it like Miles Davis played it, I'll take lessons from you. So, begin to make it your own. One thing we do have to do now is go back and put the dynamics in. Again, these are just suggestions. You can make it however you want to put dynamics in once you learn what's written here. Okay, so we go back to the beginning and we start soft. Here we go. Ready, and. Now here's a crescendo. Each note will get just a little loud. Well, I'm sorry, I was supposed to play a G chord in my left hand. I'm doing too many things at one time here. Okay, third measure. Each note will begin to get just a little louder as a crescendo. Third measure, ready, and. Now, obviously, your left hand can't crescendo. That is a marking, really, for your right hand at that point. Okay, second line. We're loud now. Forte. Ready? And. 2, 3, 4. Now we're soft for the third line. Here's another crescendo. Now we're loud.
Together you and me make perfect harmony. I hear a rhapsody